Good morning everyone. Right, we're at the Hellfire Caves today in West Wycombe. I'm here again because the old camera didn't record properly, so it's a brand new one and it's miles better. So here we are, that's the plan of the caves. There's some pretty cool places here, got a couple at least. Lots of information. Hopefully you can't hear me crunching on the gravel. So I'm a bit out of breath because I've actually done a video and realised I hadn't turned the mic on, so I'm doing it all again. So this is Francis Dashwood, who started the Hellfire Club. If you don't know, the Hellfire Club held meetings in these caves for a allegedly satanic type of thing. Right, so it's Benjamin Franklin for the Americans, the politician and inventor. Right, so yeah, he's a sixth son of Josiah Franklin, a native of Banbury. So he was pretty much, well, he was descended from Brits. So can we claim him back? So that's the birthplace of Franklin in Milk Street, Boston. Right, I don't know if the music's going to be a bit loud, but it's coming out of the old speaker there. But this matey, this geezer here, I'm sure his face moved last time I saw him. I'm starting to get my breath back because it's a bit of a trek uphill to get out of the place. Alright, so that's a bit better. As you can see, some of the walls of the tunnels have been replaced with brick. Not sure when that was done, but certainly getting my steps in today, aren't I? So I did a nice little 40-minute video. Bit earlier, full of random thoughts as usual. Right, the first thing here, this is the steward's cave. So he'd be the steward, he'd be employing the people to dig out the caves. This is him with his ledger and his money. Okay, so the steward's cave, about 100 men were employed excavating these caves. They were mainly farm workers who had no work as a result of a succession of harvest failures in 1748, 49 and 50, and were paid a shilling a day, which is sufficient to support a family at that time, unlike minimum wages. Couldn't even support one person these days. Right, the chalk from the caves was used to build the new main road from West Wycombe to High Wycombe, 3 miles away. This road was finished in 1752 and an obelisk was erected to record the event. It still stands at the junction of the Oxford and Aylesbury roads. The money would have been paid in shillings, pennies, halfpennies or farthings. You can see samples of these coins on the steward's table, as we just seen. Similar coins were discovered in the caves in 1973, buried in a lump of chalk. They were as follows: 1 George I silver shilling, dated 1720, 2 George II farthings, 1 George II halfpenny, 1 George II halfpenny dated 1751, 2 George II farthings dated 1754. The latter had initials scratched on it in Greek characters which read Francis. Presumably these coins were left to commemorate the completion of the work. It also seems likely that a party was held here to celebrate the occasion. Donkeys may have been used. Sorry, random thoughts again. Donkeys may have been used for dragging sledges piled with chalk to the entrance where the chalk was loaded onto carts, although most of it would have been moved on wheelbarrows. Right. Oh yeah, my mind is a bit weird sometimes. Right, we're going downhill now, which is why I'm out of breath, because I just walked very quickly up this to get started again. So yeah, we're going downhill. Right. Apparently there's two ghosts in these caves. First one, who we'll see in a second, well hopefully won't see the ghost, but Paul Whitehead. There are several people who may have had reason to haunt the caves, but none more so than Paul Whitehead, steward of the notorious Hellfire Club. On his death, he left £50 to Sir Francis Dashwood for the purchase of an urn to be deposited in the Dashwood Mausoleum, which we're going to visit a bit later on, so that his heart could be placed inside and remain with the Dashwoods forever. In 1829, an Australian soldier stole the heart, and the urn was then placed in the caves for safekeeping. Paul Whitehead's ghost is reported to haunt the caves searching for his heart. Okay, now we've got the White Lady. This is the interesting one. Tradition holds that Suki was a servant girl in the 19th century who works at the George and Dragon, a tavern in West Wycombe. I've actually been in there a few years ago. My ex-wife's granny lives opposite, or used to live opposite the pub. She rejected the advances of 3 local village boys as she had set her sights on becoming the bride of an aristocrat. Nothing changes, does it? One day, a wealthy young man paid a visit to the inn, and Suki, seeing him as a prospective bridegroom, set about ensnaring him. This angered the local boys, who hatched a plan to teach her a lesson. They sent her a letter purported to come from her suitor, informing her that he wished to elope with her, and asked her to meet him at the caves in her wedding gown. She arrived at the caves only to find the 3 spurned lads. It was then that the prank turned to tragedy. Stones were then thrown in temper, knocking her unconscious, and she later died. An apparition of a lady in white has been seen within the caves over many centuries. Right, there you go. Spurned women always come back to haunt you, don't they, lads? Anyway, we're still going downhill. Oh. Right, what we've got here, this is Paul Whitehead, a poet and devoted friend of Lord Le Despencer, and made the following bequest in his will. I give the right honourable Lord Le Despencer my heart aforesaid, together with £50 to be laid out in the purchase of a marble urn, in which I desire it may be deposited and placed, if his lordship pleases, in some corner of the mausoleum, as a memorial of its warm attachment to the noble founder. A little bit of unrequited man love there, I think, back in the day. Whitehead's wish was duly fulfilled. On August the 13th, 1775, a procession marched up the hill with 6 grenadiers carrying the urn litter, accompanied by a company of the Bucks militia and a great many mourners. Obviously we're in Buckinghamshire, so it's why you got your Bucks militia back in the day, yeah. Right, a special chant was sung, followed by the firing of minute guns and triple salute by the soldiers. The oratorio of Goliah was performed in the church, having been composed for the occasion. So that's him, that's allegedly the urn. As a memorial of its warm attachment to the noble founder. Just realised I've had this on Zoom for some reason. There you go. They were. Sir Francis led a large procession up the hill, followed by a company of the Bucks militia, a choir. It's a plan of the Hellfire Caves. Now it doesn't matter which way we go, left or right, because they both end up in the banqueting hall. Oh no, sorry, Franklin's Cave. It's just round the corner. So it's a cover from the cellar book from Medmenham Abbey. I'm saying it's a lot better now this time around. It's a bit of a mouthful, to be honest. Medmenham. Right, so that's a page from the cellar book. So assumingly, right, the page above lists the wine drunk by each brother at private devotions when no chapter has been held. So I did actually record